Hi all. So in the last session we discussed about the methods of web element interface. So where we studied basically about how to perform certain operations on web element using the web element methods. So today in this video we'll be studying how to deal with bulk of elements if you get more than two, let's say, web elements. So how, let's say, you want to find how many links, you want to print the text of the links in the page, or you want to check whether how many links are working or not. So then in that case you will have to deal with multiple elements, correct? So today we'll be seeing, so to tackle that we have find elements method for that. So today we'll be seeing how find elements method works around that. Okay, so let's get quickly started onto that. So for that will refer our doc, and that's here. So as we know, the topic itself is handling bulk elements. Okay, so in order to find bulk of web elements present inside a page, so we use find elements method. Sorry. So we use find elements method to locate a list of element basically. Okay, the return type of this method is a list of web elements. Since we will be getting more than one element, so the return type is here as list of web elements. So what is this list? And in this greater than and less than, this is the generics that defines that inside this list the type of the object will be a web element type. Okay, so this method is present inside search context, web driver, and web element interface. Okay, so this is present inside search context, web driver, and web element. So please remember, guys, this is an interview question that generally is being asked to you. Okay, so if find elements is not able to find the element, let's say, okay, so what it will return? It will return an empty list, irrespective of find element method. If find element method fails to find an element, so it will return a no such element exception. Okay, for find element, it will return a no such element exception, and for find elements, it will return an empty list basically. So the list will have nothing inside that, zero elements. Okay, so what is the next pointer we have? This is same as find elements, except for the fact that it takes as input as a list, and the argument is simply a locator itself. Okay, so find element is basically uses array list as the as a implementation inside that. Okay, so let's see what list is. Okay, so we all know collections is an interface in Java. Okay, how collections is an interface and a framework in Java basically. Okay, so list, so collect inside collection interface, list extends the collection interface, and set extends the collection interface. So we'll be studying about list. What is list? So list has two implementation classes, that is array list and linked list. Okay, so so we have, so array list is basically fast in retrieval and growing in nature. Okay, but linked list is has a few properties, that it is good for insertion and deletion. Okay, and it is based on top of a doubly linked list. Okay, so let's see what list is basically. So as written here, list interface in Java provides a way to store the ordered collection. It is a child interface of collection, which is also an interface. So it is an ordered collection of object in which duplicates are not allowed. Very important point to be highlighted, that list does not allows you to, sorry, this list allows you duplicate, but set does not allows you duplicate. To be remember, list can allow you duplicates, but set will not allow you. Please remember this. Since list preserves the insertion orders, yes, this is also a highlighting point, that list always preserves the insertion order. So it allows you to position, allows you the positional access and insertion of elements. So that means that you can know where you want to insert the element, since it allows you the positional access. Okay, so since the order is preserved, you will already be knowing that which element will, which element, or we can say which of the object will is presiding where. Okay, so list is also found in java.util.package and inherits the collection framework. Okay, it is a factory of list iterator interface. Through the list iterator we can, okay, using iterator we can iterate around the list forward and backward, and that we'll discuss further. So the implementation class, we have linked list, array list, and stack and vector for this. Okay, so array list and linked list are widely used in Java programming languages. So we'll also use, basically vector is yeah, it's the deprecated, and we generally don't use vector also. So okay, so what we will be dealing with is mainly array list. Okay, so let's quickly jump on to our uh, topic here. So how to declare a list. This list lt is equal to new array list. So what is this? This is a heterogeneous. Why it's written heterogeneous here? So we all know how to declare an object. Okay, how to create an object of list. So list l is equal to new array list. Okay, so the runtime object will be array list, and the type of that will be a list, which is an interface. So we'll get access to the all the methods inside list interface. Okay, so lt is the reference variable, new is used to create an object, we also already know. So we can see we have this as a homogeneous. Why is this homogeneous and why is it heterogeneous? Pause the video if you know, then it's very good. If you don't know, just pause the video and think around that. Okay, so now as we can see, it's written here list set, then and greater than and less than symbol, it's inside written as here as string. Lt is equal to new array list of string. Okay, so what is this part? This is nothing but this is the generics. Okay, I told you here that web element is a what is this? This is the generics. That so generics defines that this list can only store string type of data. Okay, this can only have a string type of data, but since here we did not declare anything generics here, so what we can add is anything. We can add a string, number, double data, or any set. We can store an array also, we can store. Okay, so this is how what is the difference between a heterogeneous and a homogeneous list. Okay, so this can also be asked, but this should this not asked, but this is generally that you should know around Java. Okay, so next comes the picture is how to add an element to a list. So nothing, just simple list dot add will add an element to the list, and list dot remove will remove an element from the list. Okay, then comes the picture around how to, how to get the, let's say if for array we basically give the size. Okay, so it's predefined. Okay, for arrays we give the size. Okay, so for list, how we can determine the size of a list? So you can use the dot size method to get the size of the list using lt dot size. Let's say this is the reference variable. Lt dot size will give you the list. So we have added 1 2 3 elements here, so this is giving me the count as 3. And next comes the picture how to, how to, if let's say you want to loop around the list or you want to iterate around the list, so we can simply use a for loop. I think that's pretty much clear with everyone. If not, then we'll discuss in some videos around Java as well. So for this, nothing, simply just a for loop. Int I is equal to 0 and I is less than the size of the list, that is count here. Lt dot size, or you write counter, that's the same. And I plus plus is the counter will increase. So now what is the, how to get that element, how to basically retrieve that element in the iteration? So dot get method is used to retrieve the element in the list. Okay, lt dot get will get you the that particular element at that particular index. Okay, lt dot get of I will, what will do, this will get in the first iteration I will be 0, this will get you the 0th element. Then this what we are simply printing. Then what will happen, this will loop with, how will this work? Let's say you don't know, then I'll tell you. I is equal to, first we'll initialize I is equal to 0, then we'll check I is less than count, 0 is less than obviously 3. So we'll go inside and we'll get the first element, we'll print the first element. Okay, now the counter increases to 1. 1 is less than count. Yes, 1 is less than count. 1 is less than 3. This will again print this the first element at the first index, and then this will again increase to 2. 2 is less than 3. True. This will print, and then a state will come. This will print only how many times this will run? This will run only 3 times. Why? Since at 0, 1, 2, these three are only less than 3. Now in once we reach to 2 and we print, now counter will be, I will be 3, and what is 3 is less than 3, is it true? No, this is false, so this will not print this one array object. Okay, so That is how we loop around. So that was, I think, quite pretty simple, as everyone knows around how to loop, how to write a for loop. Okay, so now let's see, write a script to find total number of links inside a web page. Okay, so what is this? So if you want to get how many links are there, so you should have a list of links, correct? You should identify the first target around this problem statement is that you need to target how you need to frame, you get the list of the web elements. Okay, how many elements are there? That means how, in a simple way we can see ki we'll need a list, okay, to traverse around and see that how many are there. Okay, so what we have done, let's first understand the script here only. Just simply we are launching the browser and we are navigating to the URL. Then what a driver dot find element, and since we know the links are majorly they are using, we write what we have, anchor tag contains the links. Okay, so we'll write by dot tag name a. Okay, so using this tag name a, so this will give me all the elements that have tag name with a. Okay, that start with tag name, that are with the tag name a. So I'm using, if you see, driver dot find elements, so I'm finding the list of elements that have that are links, basically, that use tag name as a, the elements. Okay, so this will give you a list of those links. I'm storing this inside a variable links, and that is a type of list of web element. Why? Because the return type of driver dot find elements method is list of web elements. Return type of driver dot find element is what? Pause the video, think about that. What it is? Yes, it is web element only. Since we are referring to a single element, so driver dot find element will return you a single web element, and driver dot find elements will return you a list of web element. Okay, so it's simple. Its elements means there is more than two or more than one. Okay, so that is related to a list. Okay, and element means a single, so that will return a single web element. Okay, so now what we are doing here, inside this link we are getting the all the tags and all. So what we are doing, we need to print the total number of links. So we have the list, and how do we get to know the what how many elements are there in the list? Just simply we need to use the dots, we need to use the size method of the list. That will give us the count of the elements inside the list, and the count of elements inside the list means the links that are present inside the page. So that is what it's written here, links dot size, and we are storing inside a variable as count. That is, what size will always return you are an integer type. Okay, so the system dot order printer in total links plus count. So I am just printing the counts here. Okay, so let's be practical and let's see how to do this here itself. Okay, yeah, so let's see how to iterate over a few elements. Let's say we want to find links in this page. So double slash a, that will give you, this is the XPath, but let's write our code here. So we have already created a class that is bulk elements, and we are just simply initializing the driver and maximizing the window and navigating to this page. Now I'll write driver dot find. This time we'll use find elements, and by dot tag name, let's say, sorry, by dot tag name, let's say the tag name you already know, that's a. And so let's save this as link ELE, link elements. Okay, link ELE. So what will be the return type of this? Will be a list of web element. Okay, you can see the return type is list of web elements. So now what we need, we know that we have a bulk of elements. So if I want to print the, we know that these, what we have in this link, this is a type, this is a list which is a type of web element. So how to get the size of how to print those how to get the size of a list, that is link ELEs dot size. Yeah, size is the method. And save this inside a variable, that is, let's say, what we can say, link counts. Okay, link counts. And this will be a type of what we will be the type, integer type. And come to the next line, step c so and link count. Okay, so link counts it is, sorry. Save this up and let me give a thread dot sleep over here of, let's say, 4000 milliseconds, and add throws declaration. That's it. Save this and I'll run this as Java application. And as Java application. So this will initialize here, and it's here on my second screen. Since we haven't done any operation, so this will just close here. We are just finding the links and we are printing that. Oh, this will not close. Why is that so? Because we haven't put the driver.close, and we can see this script might have been executed. Okay, so that's why I did not close. So what is the size is 3. We have 3 links, and if we try to verify here, if we write double tag double slash a, we have 3 links only. Okay, so this is how you can find the the number of links present inside a page. So let's go to our next problem statement, that is, this one is done, print all the link text. Okay, so simple as that, print all the link text here. So let's go on to our page. So basically here we want is to print this proto commerce, home and shop. Okay, simple as that. We have the size. So what is the now next target is we need to loop around this. So write a for loop for control. Okay, control space enter. This will not work. What? Yeah. Just double click this. For int I is equal to 0, less than what? The size of the list, which is the, in our case, link count. Link counts. Okay. So control Z, let me know. Less than link counts. Sure. I plus plus. Sorry, I missed that. Okay, now in the next line, sorry, my bad. Semicolon I. Now what we need to do here is what we studied here. Just we have the size, loop it around and just get those elements. Okay, So let me do that quickly here. Let me save this up. So we have the link as sorry, link. Let me quickly come over to, okay, so sorry, my Eclipse just was not working well, so I turned it on again, restarted that. So what we were doing, we in I is equal to 0 and we have the link count, we'll go up till the size of the list, and now we want to fetch the elements of the list. So what is the reference variable to that list is link ELES. So link elements dot, we I told you how to retrieve the element, that is get, using the get, and we'll pass the index will be I in this case, since we are writing since we are we are using a for loop. Okay, so what will this will give you, this retrieving an element from a list of web element will give you a web element. Okay, so that will be a link basically we can call, and if I hover and create this as a local variable, this will be a web element. So now what we want this the text of that. Okay, so we'll write link dot, since this is a web element, so we'll be able to access all the methods inside the web element. That is, we'll use, just guess what we'll use, yes, you're correct, get text we'll use. Okay, so get text will give you the text here, and let me save this as link text. Oh, sorry, link text, and the type of get text return type is a string. Correct. So let's quickly, let me write CISO control space enter and link text, and we'll see all the text here. Okay, so let's run this. So we'll use less than. Yeah. So why that error was coming, since there is a since indexing starts from 0, so I was referring to something that is out of the, basically out of the index of the list. So I was referring to the fourth element that does not even exist inside the links, that link, sorry, in the list. So that is why we were getting an index out of bound exception. So this is how we basically deal with this, and let's finish off this today here itself, because I think you need to give a practice around this, and you need to see how Java works around this, and for that you will need to see looping and all. So I hope, but if let's see what's left around. So we have done printing all the statements, and this is a script to display how many links get displayed and how many not. So we'll discuss in the next part, and we'll also see what is the difference between find element. So we can see here itself today only that find element is used to, I already told you, it returns return type is a web element, and this has a return type of list of web elements. Since we are interacting with only single element, so the return type is web element, and we are interacting with multiple elements, so return type is list of web element. The second point is same. It finds single web element in the web page. It finds bulk of web element in the web page. Okay. if find element method fails, then it will give you no such web element exception, no such element exception. And if this fails, so this will give you an empty list. Okay, so this we'll see in the next lecture. So there's one more difference is that CSS selector, between difference between CSS selector and XPath. So CSS selector is much faster than XPath. Okay, and XPath is slower. Okay, in CSS we cannot use text function. We, as we know, we cannot use text function, but in XPath we can use. And this is third point, that if we want to traverse from child to parent, that is not possible in CSS selector, but from child to parent and parent to child, both the ways are possible. We had that preceding slash parent and preceding and following siblings in concept in XPath, we where we saw the XPath accesses. Okay, so this is all that covers for today's session basically. So in the next session we'll move around few more things. We'll practice around few more application website for grabbing those links and for finding those bulk of elements. So just practice this find elements and try to give understand as much as you can. Try to read around more how find element work, and try to read more around what we say around Java collections. Okay, how list works. So I have tried to explain that, but I'll come up on a video with the same on Java as well. So let's meet in the next lecture, and hope you found the information quite handy. And let's meet in the next. So we'll be discussing morely about select classes and all, and we'll also spend more time on this find elements method. Maybe around 10 to 15 minutes we'll study about the more about this find elements method. Okay, so hope so this is all for today. So thank you and have a great day. Bye.